Testing, testing, one, two, three, blah, 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 boo. Alright. Now, obviously, I wasn't too sure if I said I wasn't going to really upload that anymore for a while. But I obviously wanted to do, like, one little live stream, before, like, kickstart, just focusing dead on videos for the other channels and shit like that. So I figured, well, I owed some people, or at least the audience I have, something. So I figured, well, I might as well work on the next video project's thumbnail live. Because I have a couple video projects I'm going to be doing. Arguably, they're going to be taking me a while. Well, that's some... Yeah. Hey, Marlon. So I figured for today's live stream, because I have a lot that I need to be doing for the separate channels. And I have, like, a lot of gaming idea stuff, and I'm probably gonna maybe record while I'm live, so, like, you guys will hear me test record some stuff or stuff like that. I'm gonna be working on the thumbnail for one of the videos. Also, hello, Rainbow. I didn't have time to, like, work on that thing. Well, I got your reference. I have it, like, screenshotted. I'm gonna try to redo it sometime later. Right now, I'm going to be working on this thumbnail. So, to put into better words, I'm working on this thumbnail because I have a video that I came up with a concept for. I have a couple videos down the road that I'm gonna, like, try to record and, like, space them out for, like, video game ideas, and talk about them. Yeah, they said no requesting with, like, links on chat because it violates Twitch rules to me. Yeah, I get that. It happens. It's frustrating, but, you know, rules are rules. Trying to think. But the video concept, I figured since I'm not gonna be uploading for a while on the main channel, because I'm kind of, like, taking a bit of a break. Yeah, I cannot send a reference for my OC. Yeah, that's okay. Well, you can on, like, one of my other platforms and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm here, for instance. Yeah. I'm hoping to try to get more videos out on the gaming channel, and the art channel. I'm just kind of been putting stuff off because lazy. I'm so lazy. I wouldn't even call myself lazy. I'm so, I haven't had a lot of time, so I haven't, like, been recording or any of that. So right now I want to try to focus on getting this thumbnail done, because I have a couple videos I want to do. What is the main channel? The main channel is this one. Oh, wait, can we play Epic Mickey on, like, Twitch? Hold on. Oh, we can play Epic Mickey on Twitch, too, after this release. Oh, yeah, that's true. I would have to buy the game, though. What was it? It was said, what else was said? What is the main channel? The main channel is this one. The one where I stream and I have the most subs on, that's the main channel. The separate channels, the art only channel being the one with the arguably better logo, and the art icon, then yeah, that's the art channel. The uh I meant to say Switch and Nintendo. Yeah, it's all right. I get it. I freaking messed up reading wise too. So, um, and the gaming channel is where like I upload my gaming stuff, like ideas or whatever. Um, but this video concept, for my, what's the word? Um, Gaming channel is I'm going to be talking about my ideas or story pitch or just pitch in general for an Epic Mickey 3. Like I was researching and like looking into Epic Mickey, and the only Epic Mickey game I actually played, ironically enough, was for my 3DS, and that was the Castle of Illusion, I believe, which I greatly enjoyed, surprisingly. Um, and I thought, okay, because they're announcing the Epic Mickey rebrush thing, yeah, I added my Blue Sky account to my Twitch account so I can find the OC about Crafty. Okay, you know, like, you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm trying to think. And my pitch was actually thinking about like all the things that they said, like all the scrapped concepts that they had for Epic Mickey. Like with Epic Mickey 1, I would say they arguably, from what I understand, it had a greater story that kind of told between what is it? Arguably the rabbit and Mickey. Like there's like jealousy, there's a little bit of like this or that, and I thought, okay, it fleshes out Mickey as a character. I would arguably want to do something similar for Epic Mickey 3. And because it's the third game in the trilogy, I figured, okay, 3 playable characters instead of 1. But with one of the characters, you get to have the 2 sides of him more fleshed out with a karma system. And you could arguably Oswald the Rabbit, yes. Oh yeah, with the Hunter from the Owl House inspired from the yeah, okay. I would say arguably it's more fun to really like fill in like all these ideas, because like there was some like concept art for Epic Mickey that was really dark, and I don't know what it is, but I was drawn to that versus like the more Disney friendly approach of like, let's appeal to kids. It's like, I don't like that approach that Disney does, because it's like, I hate that. But it's also like, yeah, that's in their branding. But I also feel like kids nowadays are a little bit more, you know, prone to chaos. So I would think that Disney wouldn't go with that approach 24/7. Because, like, most kids are playing Call of Duty. They're cussing at one another. They're shooting stuff and blah, blah, blah. I would think, yeah, don't forget it's still Disney. I know. But Epic Mickey 1 did have some, like, dark undertones with the world and the stuff. And if you look at classic Disney, if you look at, like, the old animated Disney movies, there was some dark level shit to those movies. Like, there was some dark stuff. Like, not just jokes, but I mean, like, for instance, the Dumbo hallucination scene scared the shit out of me as a kid. And like, I would arguably say that level of Disney... Oh, yeah, they have Black Cauldron. Well, Black Cauldron's all right. It's not as scary, but it's, like, scary-ish. I would say, like, you know, they had a lot of, like, stuff that they canceled and stuff like that. And I would arguably say that if Disney can be dark, it's just they don't want to be. Like, they don't want to be. And I personally always hated that, because I felt like if you always have this mass appeal to like kids, and it's like you have to be dark, not like light all the time, I mean, it kind of ruins some of the appeal because like there always is a bit of darkness to things. And I think they're arguably better franchises like TV show wise do have like more undertones that deal with dark level stuff and that deal with everything else in between. And I feel like for Epic Mickey, I like, and arguably I haven't played the game, so maybe I might stream this, who knows, or maybe I might do a walkthrough series playing through it for the very first time on the gaming channel. Arguably, who knows? If you guys want to see either one, let me know. Cause like I can do either way. But arguably, I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I would have wanted from Epic Mickey, if they were to make a third game. And I feel like the choices and consequences mechanic was underutilized a lot from what I've seen. And it was one of the many complaints about the game, because it's like, your choices matter, but do they really? You know, it's like, as someone who played Infamous, I love the idea of like choices in games sometimes. Now, it depends on how it's handled and also its effect on gameplay. I felt like with Infamous, when you played as Cole McGrath and you just started just killing people or shooting electricity and draining it and becoming this evil person, I felt like the gameplay slightly changed when you did that compared to like your hero self. And I felt like that's something that Epic Mickey really underutilized, because the gameplay didn't change with your choices. The world slightly changed, but it didn't, you know? Yeah, they wanted to do a happy place on Earth, but even their media apparently was sacrificed. Yeah, exactly. I felt like for me that there are elements that I felt like you can go down a different road with Epic Mickey, and I felt like that was being seen in the concept art, but not in the gameplay or the stuff. Now, yes, arguably with some of the concept art, it wasn't meant to be seen by public eyes, and it got leaked, and blah, blah, blah. Yes, I know. But I would say, arguably, there is a lot of stuff that I feel like in leaks that actually would be the most interesting concepts that they just cut for no apparent reason. And, like, for me personally, I actually like the darker stuff. I felt like having, like, for instance, I'll give you guys an idea. Okay, there's supposed to be 3 different states to Mickey, right? You have his hero self, the more good you do, and blah blah blah. You have the wasteland, which is like an in-between state, and then you have his scrapper state, where he's like more monstrous and stuff like that. Like, it's basically evil Mickey. That's something that I felt like they should have capitalized on. Capitalized on the idea of like a karma system. And this is ironic because, like, Infamous, I would say the first Infamous game handled, like, the choices and stuff with powers arguably better. Now, Infamous 2 did up the ante with powers, but not with its choices, except for the ending choice. But Delsin, then you get to Second Son, and it just feels flat. But I felt like for this, for a game like this that builds itself on the idea of, like, if you destroy stuff, you're making more evil choices. If you kind of balance it out where you can destroy and also create or add on to and stuff like that, I felt like they should really have capitalized on the choices and stuff like that with what you do. You get what I'm saying? Like, Epic Mickey looks like a great game, but the problem is some elements of the gameplay fall flat when you look at, you know, like what could have been and how it could have been handled. Because there's a lot of good ideas there. And I felt like if they were to do an Epic Mickey 3, besides just adding more playable characters, let's actually add on to the mechanics that really set the game apart in the first place, like the choices and whatever. Because like Epic Mickey 2 said it was going to establish that more, but the game was rushed and there was a lot of cuts and a lot of blah blah blah. I feel like for Epic Mickey 3, it should return to form, right? Go back to the first, from what I've seen of the first game, and what they did well with it. But also take elements from what they did well with the second game, with adding more playable characters. You can add on to Oswald's kit, and you can also add his love interest, which I saw like there's concept art of her, a playable version of her, so she can like turn to stone, I guess. I don't know the full thing. So there's that. Also, I will say the Gravity Falls video is still going to happen, but I'm kind of like re-contextualizing it because I feel like I've recorded it and I didn't like the recording session in the same way that happened with like the Arkham Origins video. I recorded that. I have it unlisted so you guys can hear it. I have that recorded, but I didn't like some elements of the recording, right? Where is it at? Where is it at? Hold on. Where is it at? Okay, yeah, like that's the... Hold on. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I have like bits of it recorded and edited. But there's elements of like when I put in gameplay and stuff like that, I wasn't really happy with elements of it because I really didn't have like the recordings, like the gameplay stuff I wanted for specific bits that I felt worked. And I'm very kind of like, I don't want to put something that doesn't work there when it comes to like gameplay or other stuff. I also like have to make the custom assets and the art for each section, which arguably I would say takes more time. Like even for thumbnails, it took me 2 attempts just to get this thumbnail for Epic Mickey. And even then I have to add the text somewhere and it's like broad. And then I also have to add something maybe in the middle, like a split between like Oswald and her, so it adds like a 3 idea, like the 2 sides of Mickey, and you have the what's it called? So you have like 3 playable characters. It's Epic Mickey 3. Twee. So I'll shut up. You guys are here probably sick of my blabbing. Probably sick of my blabbing. On the Twitch side or on the YouTube side. So yeah. My head. How's everyone's day going, by the way? I'm trying not to like ignore anyone or like talk over you guys because I'm trying to read the chat as well and see if I missed anything. Okay, like God Chicken. And do you have any dark jokes you could tell? I could. But I'm not gonna tell them. Because I don't want to get banned on Twitch or on here. I know that it's like an older comment. Also, let me check the Twitch side real quick and see if I missed any comments or anything. Okay. I'm just checking to see if like things are working. Okay. Yeah, but sorry for the blabbing. I'll shut up. Excuse me. Unless you guys want to hear my ideas, then cool. If you guys don't want to hear what my ideas are, then I will gladly keep it to myself till the video drops sometime soon. Depending on how long it takes me to get everything done. Shoot. So far, the chat, or not the chat, but the Arkham or the vote on the gaming channel for like different stuff. The Arkham Origins remake video is getting the most votes. I see 14, like maybe a vote, like 7 votes in total. Epic Mickey's is tied with the Gravity Falls game for like what I should do. I might have to. Give me a second. I wish I could play music. But I cannot, sadly. Hold on, what was the hold on. Let me check this stream. Crap. God chicken, you have any jokes? Or not any jokes, but are you still here? No? Yes? Maybe, absolutely, I don't know. Ugh, crap. I think for the next stream, I might remove my model from the stream. Just for a while and see if I can, like, mess around with it. Arguably just for the draw rainbow. Well, I'm working on the thumbnail thing right now, though. Like, I can't just draw something on the fly. Like, and plus, without like a link, or it's not really the link that would be my problem. It would probably just be like, this or that. I'll draw it, but I'm gonna probably draw it off stream and post it on the YouTube channel. More specifically, my art YouTube channel. I'm gonna probably draw it sometime next couple days, depending on when I have the time. Because, like, arguably, I do have to get this done. Not to be rude, like, I do. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, no, I'm not like shutting you down or anything. But I will draw it, but I'm gonna probably draw it when I have, like, the time. Because, like, I do have to get this thumbnail done. And arguably, it's gonna already be, like, a pretty frustrating project to work on anyways. So... but I will do it. Just depends on, like, my time and stuff like that. Because I do have, like, a busy schedule of, like, videos and projects that I keep forgetting. I will say I am feeling a lot better than I was before. Because I've been sick for a while. But arguably, I probably am going to have to I'm going to have to take a shower today. I'm going to be trying to get a lot of recording done. Because I need to do a lot of work. Because I was in a call for a bit last night, Discord wise, with a friend, and then I had to stay up a little later talk to briefly someone that helps occasionally while I'm editing. Or at least I tried to get a hold of them, but I didn't get the chance. Well, not really get the chance. They're pretty busy. So that didn't go the way I was hoping it would. Which annoyed me, but it was like, oh well. So, what else? Oh, crap. Ow. I'm not going to be streaming for too long today. I will say that. Because I do have to record some audio for some video stuff and make some custom assets. Oh boy. Oh, my back. Shit. Oh. 32. Crafty rocks. There's Mass Fiction. I know. I'm gonna try to get this done, figured out. Ow, my head. Stephen Bales. Stephen Bale. Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates. I think you mean Stephen Bales. I like that freaking line from Wildcat. Stephen Bales. I'm doing the evil Mickey first because I know how hard harder it would be to like draw him compared to Hero Mickey. Coloring him in first, which is arguably a lot easier, surprisingly. Oh my leg. Stephen Bales. Stephen Bales. Let's see. Do, 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 do. Gonna like fill in and add like the little bits of white. Probably record here in a bit later. Let's see what is when I do like a full-on request stream. I think I'll do that in a week, or not really a week, but sometime soon. I'll do a stream only on my Twitch, and I'll promote it where I'll just do requests. So this way, no one can complain about, like, oh, you're not doing anything. It's like, you're only doing this. It's like, well, I'm lazy with the Twitch titles. But I am going to try to do more, streaming there, and I'll do like requests and stuff soon. I promise. So for I can stream those pretty soon, just depending on how long it takes. But I figured I'll stream for maybe an hour, try to get this thumbnail done, or at least this bit done, and I will try to record for the next half hour and get the streaming, stuff like that. The dang it. Hold on. Give me a second. Like I'm working on this thumbnail because I have to. So I have to auto-fill in certain elements. Because it's kind of fun to work on these. Ow. Back. Shoot. Arguably, the hardest part is getting this right. Hey, can I have a moderator? Yeah, I see you. Also, welcome. Well, I guess sure. I don't. The hell was that? Oh, probably on the Twitch thing, live dashboard. Yeah. I guess just that as a standard moderator. I guess I don't care. Usually I would just say earn it, but I don't mind. While I'm working here for a bit, because I'm trying to get this thumbnail done for a video on my gaming channel. I'm having to do like the art for it. And usually that's what I do for some of these streams. Sometimes I like to do the art side of it on here, because I like streaming sometimes. It looks good. It looks great. Thank you. Yeah, I'm arguably very stubborn when it comes to the asset making and stuff like that. Because I like to stream and work on like whatever I need to, like fan art or assets for videos or stuff like that, but I will say it is draining. Because I have to do this stuff and I gotta get it done, which arguably takes a long time. God darn it. Have to do like an outline. I'm trying to think. Oh crap. It's this particular thumbnail is because I was talking to Puff about it, and like, you know, she thinks it's cool, but it's for a video on my gaming channel, which I'm hoping I'm gonna have to like record it or record bits of it, or at least get the script figured out for my concept for an Epic Mickey 3. Arguably, I have like a lot of like video game ideas videos I have to get over there at some point done. It's just getting the editing done is a pain, but arguably the worser part is like getting the other stuff done as well. So it's like, crap. So yeah, there's that. That is a lovely part of it. I'm trying to think. But yeah, I'm working on this because I wanted it to be a little bit more hand drawn or digitally drawn, and take like a background image from like Epic Mickey that I found through like Google that I felt worked. And I figured, okay, well, what could work? And here we are. I will say, arguably, I actually have a pretty cool idea for my concept for Epic Mickey. At least the third game. Taken a lot from what they've said through like interviews and what the concept was. And arguably, I haven't played the games. I think I played the DS game, but I never played the, what's it called, because I don't think I had a Wii at the time. So I'm hoping at some point to get the rebrushed edition and either play it on stream or do walkthroughs for it on the gaming channel. Hey Husk, I haven't forgotten about the Gravity Falls video. Don't get me wrong. I just have a chaotic brain, and I have like a lot of projects I need to do, like get video game stuff idea wise. So I haven't forgotten Gravity Falls. I still haven't forgotten Arkham Origins and Arkham Shadows. I just have to like balance everything, and I'm working on the thumbnail for Epic Mickey right now. I at least have the thumbnails done for the Arkham ones. Yeah, don't worry, I didn't have time to work on it either today. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my head. I would say arguably I was streaming and editing. Yeah. I'm hoping I can get some recordings done. I do need to like record later, figure out some stuff. I will say I did get an offer. He's actually in the chat now, so a big thank you to him. On the idea of maybe helping out with some stuff editing wise and blah blah blah. So I thought maybe I might take it off on like the asset part, because I actually need someone like a backup artist on making assets for a couple of videos. Arguably, I will say, the one that I need the most amount of assets for is the Arkham Shadows DLC video and the Arkham Origins remaking video. Because I've struggled a lot with doing the art for those, and I don't like what I've came up with. Arguably, I hate it. And I would say I'm gonna probably take him up on the offer, depending if they have the time, and it's like dependency and stuff. Like, I don't want to take advantage or any of that. I'm very stubborn. But like, arguably, I haven't forgotten some of the videos I already have to do. Like, I haven't forgotten a single one. It's like getting them done and edited probably is gonna be the pain. So yeah. But whom is this? I don't got a clue. They're in the chat. I met Phil. I'm in another server. A friend server. She's an artist. She's a great person overall. She has a lot of people in there that are other artists, and there. I'm keeping it like fast and loose. Also, there's Dead that's also helping as well, but he's busy a lot of the time, and I haven't really had time to talk to him when it comes to editing and stuff like that. A disc server, you mean? Yes. Discord. Yes. 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 Also, let me check X real quick on my phone. Is there anything else that's going on over there in the chaotic realm of bullcrap? Get one notification. Okay, never mind. Nothing. Nothing else. Okay. Hold on. Where's my Argosax art? Oh, I gotta see. Where's my... Hold on, I gotta... You know what? Where is it? I'm just gonna freaking download it again through Discord. Hold on. Where is it? I think I have it with Celeste. She has it. I sent it to her a while back. And I completely forgot. I have to find it. Give me a second. I'm looking for my Argo Sex art. Do 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 do. There it is. Pistols. Was under sorry, I'm freaking putting something. And you said dead. You mean like Dead Wrath or somebody? Yeah. Well, he has like a green icon. I can't remember the full name. I just call him Dead for short because I don't want to like use his actual name. But yeah, basically, yeah, he's pretty cool. I'm very usually I've talked to him for a bit, and like we've tried to work together on certain things. I help him out when I can, but like he has like a busy schedule. He's married, and I don't like what's the word? Dead is like the creator name, so I was confused. I guess I got confused. Well, yeah, but I mean like there's another one. If you check one of my gaming ideas videos, actually, I would say arguably, I believe I have it linked into one of the descriptions because I had like him as like an editor briefly, like he was helping out for some stuff. But it's like I'm very stubborn, so I don't like. Here's my thing. Here's how I work. I'm very stubborn because I don't want to be annoying. So, yeah. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I'm doing Evil Mickey first, so I don't have to do him. Because I have a pretty cool concept for an Epic Mickey 3. So I'm doing like the thumbnail hand-drawn versus anything else. But I could invite you to my server. We're just talking about to that. But you could invite me to that Discord server where you were just talking about, or is it a no? I don't know. It's up to her. Like I don't want to. Here's my thing. She has the server. It is hers, but it's like artists and like it's like they're. It's hard to explain because like I don't want to like because it's not my server. I don't want to put like a link to something that I arguably don't have a say in controlling, and I really don't feel I don't want to. How do I say this? I don't want to overstep my boundaries because like I'm in If like community of artists, well, I wouldn't say it's just artists, but I feel like I know there's a lot of people there that are artists, so it's like arguably more there. So I don't know. I don't here's what I'm saying. Like I don't want my words to get misconstrued. I don't want to overstep my bounds as a person because that is her server, and I don't want to like link if she doesn't like I don't know how public it is, how public her server is. So like that's why I'm kind of like you know like I if you want to join it, it's like yeah, then ask here if she needs like for like Discord server or like I'm willing to do that. Yeah, I get that. Like I get that. I would maybe think about it. I'll try, but it's like I don't want to like overstep my bounds because like I just joined recently. I don't want to like just start feel like I'm taking over or something like that. It's like no, it's full of like people that'll support one another and work together if they need be, and I think that's amazing. Given the fact that I'm very stubborn and it's not that I don't like help, but I'm very much like don't want to, asking is different than demanding. Well, true, that's true, but also it's like it's also like every Discord server is different and every person's different, and like I don't want to, I don't know. Like you get what I'm saying. Like I'm not trying to overstep for how public she wants the server to be. Because I don't know how public she has it, and stuff like that. That's why I'm saying, yeah. I will say I do probably need to make like a private, I wouldn't call it a server, but a private like group chat type thing for like people that'll help out with like videos and stuff like that. And I need to like make that one of these days. Like just like a private group chat for like people on like through Discord. Good morning. Good morning. Getting much attention. That's true, but that's also because I don't prop it up. I'm trying to prop it up on the other channel. I'm trying to prop it up more. And I plan to do that. But then again, it's like not many people you should though. Well, I do. Well, it's not that I'm planning to. I'm trying to, but it's like the thing is like with how long it takes me to make videos, but also this channel you should. Well, yeah, but it's also the thing of like I don't know how many people would actually join. Because like not everyone has Discord, and I like ran into that problem very quickly. And you remember how long it took me to get Discord? And also, I don't want to run into the problems of like what we had. Well, you will never know until you try. Well, that's true. But also, I do want to grow the other channels first. 2 decades. Yeah, fuck you too. Ha ha ha, hardy har har. Taking a piss out of me already. I see how it is. Yeah. But also I don't want to run into another thing. I don't think he's made any more videos about me, which finally, about freaking time. But yeah. Who cares? No more drama. I'm happy. Arguably. Um, I will say, I did send you the Arkham Origins remaking video, the unlisted version. We still didn't finish the last. Well, yeah, I know. Um. I sent you that. I will say that there's a lot of stuff that's supposed to be in the video that I haven't like recorded, because like I do want to talk more in depth about like gameplay elements. I do want to talk about this, that, the other. There are some stuff like I don't want to change. Editing wise, there's a lot that I would say that we could change and like change out footage and like mess around with stuff instead of like relying on crappy things. But yeah. Oh, I'm back. I wondered where you disappeared off to. You just took a smoke bomb and left. Poof. Welcome. Yes.
Indeed. I'll bring my Spacinator and I will blow this place up. Yes. My Spacinator is primed and ready, and arguably it's going to blow up the entirety of the moon. You'll have to eat. Oh, how nice. Eat this, sucker.
I hate that voice. Hello. Yes. Yes, I see. I see. What this? Ah, crap. I would say I would make a couple more jokes, but I'm not going to. We're gonna go to the moon and get some cheese, Gromit. Get some cheese. I'm not reading that. Shut up. Shut up. I'm not reading that. Gonna go to the moon and get some cheese, Gromit. I can do freaking voices if I want to, but it's straining on my voice right now because my vocal cords are right as shit. Because I'm still sick. I'm trying to get this thumbnail done though. I do have a pretty cool concept for an Epic Mickey 3. No, only... Shut up! Dear Lord. Have you ever played basketball? I did try to play some like basketball stuff and blah blah blah, but I was not good at it. I sucked. I can't shoot a basket to save my life. So arguably, I was never really much of a basketball player or any of that. I can pull like a Terrorizer if I wanted to for that voice, that one voice I did. Where is it? Terrorizer to the... They're like 6'4". I know. I just wasn't good at it. 6'4.5". Go to moon and get cheese. Dang it. What was the freaking, it was like a GTA video where he did this joke. He's like, he did the Gromit voice, the freaking, Dang it! I can't find it. It was so funny. I'm trying to remember the. Can't stand dance off or something. Ah, there it is. Found it.
Hello, pussies. Daddy's getting down tonight. Would you like to taste my cheddar cheese with a bit of brie? Time to slide into those DMs, baby.
Welcome to GTA 5.
Oh, he has to come back, though.
I'm turning around slowly. I think it's working.
Get out of the way now! Oh, shit.
Oh!
Look at delirious.
I know. I am.
Just a random fucking. Okay.
I just like the way he says this.
Absolutely breaking it down back
Daddy's getting some cheese tonight.
Just seeing him in the back.
He's Irish, but he's doing the Wallet and Gromit voice.
Would you like to see my cheddar cheese?
Noticing.
Alright, we have Mufasa. He's messed up. I got hit by a car. I got hit by
Is that dead, crippled, and stampled?
That's after he
on
got trampled.
Mufasa? Yeah.
Where's the wheelchair?
Brian just come.
You fixed me, Terrorizer. You fixed that.
Hello, pussy.
Holy shit!
He's like, "Hello, pussies." just arguably the funniest line in the whole thing. The way he says it in that voice, it's just funny as hell to me. I couldn't stop laughing in the whole thing. The way I don't care. I hate my own voice. Fuck off. But no, I think that whole thing, that session was cursed, but it was funny. What kind of British dummy is that? He ain't British. Ironically, he's Irish. But he was doing the Wallace and Gromit voice, like the Wallace. He's like, "Hello, pussies." It's like he's like doing the freaking Wallace and Gromit. If you guys know what that is, have you ever heard of gooning problem? And no, I gotta go for a bit. I don't see you. That's all right. Well, have a good one, man. Take care of yourself, all that jazz. Arguably, I just find some stuff funny. I don't know why. Do you know gooning means? No. Arguably, no. And if it's something weird or inappropriate, I don't want to know. Thank God I don't have like a soundboard. I'd be clipping a bunch of Terrorizer stuff. Hello, pussies. I would just be such a prick. Oh, it'd be funny. It does mean something very... then I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. No idea, and I want to keep it that fucking way. You ever get... Okay. Boy, I swear to God, I know where this is going, and I'm shutting it down. Mayday, mayday. Fuck this shit. Is this because of what I put on the community post with Storm? Is this what this is about? Is that what this is about? Is that what this is about? I see what it is. Kill me now, please. Kill me now. No! Jesus. I'm trying to get this this thing done. Whenever I see shut up. Shut up. Also, do you want to hear whenever I see Lady and Dims? You know, actually what's funny is I actually did a thumbnail for a friend because she was doing like a drawing of Lady for her live, like Celeste was. I did the thumbnail for her for that live stream. And which reminds me, I probably need to do more thumbnails for her when I have the time. Hello, pussies. I like that Grommet voice. I don't know why. I think it's funny. Just the way he says that line is funny to me. Also, if you're curious, I might do like some recording on stream and like test this. Because I have my phone nearby, and that's usually what I use. Like, I get in CapCut and record. Sorry, I just got a little... Yeah. Oh. No wonder you got a little carried away. I wonder why. Five, four, three, two, one. It's a joke about his height. It's like, don't you dare! But I don't regret any of it. Oh, yes, you do. All right. Also, if you're curious, these two are drawn by me. This is like a image I got on Google. Oh, fuck! Oh, my back. The concept that I had for an Epic Mickey 3 is just pulling from a lot of like what I felt that they scrapped a lot of interesting stuff, and I hated that because I felt like that's something that they really should have embraced a little bit more of, is the darker shit. I felt like with Disney, they always have to take this family-friendly approach to everything. It's like, I hate that part of the brand. Because I really would want something darker. And with some of the ideas they had, I felt like that's something they should have embraced. Is that just me? Is that a me thing? What about you? What do you think? Like, with Epic Mickey, right? Epic Mickey 1 was arguably darker. Epic Mickey 2, on the other hand, was almost like a kid's, like, it was too childish. And I felt like, for me, arguably, from what I've seen, I haven't played the games, but I felt like something that they should have embraced more when it came to, like, the darker elements of, Disney aimed towards kids nowadays. Well, fuck that. Some of the villains that they put out early kids movie wise really were dark, though. Like, when you look at the villains like Ursula or Hunchback of Notre Dame's villain or stuff like that, arguably some of the villains, I would say, are pretty dark for kids movies. And I would say that really something that I felt like they need to really dial that stuff back. Like, don't go kids friendly, go darker. Like, kids nowadays are, a little less sensitized. More than the adults care to admit, And some of the stuff I really liked from concept art, from what I was seeing, was like a bit of like an Infamous approach. And they basically had like a bit of like a karma system, and like choices matter. But in the actual game, that's not really reflected, And I felt like, that sucks, like that's something that actually wasn't a unique idea. And I felt like if they would have embraced some of the darker aspects of things, like I like games where your choices matter. Yeah, like I felt like the choices didn't really matter, and it's not reflected as much in the gameplay or how you operate. I felt like that's something that Epic Mickey really struggled with in execution. And I felt like, as someone who played the Infamous games, where arguably sometimes even there was a bit of like choices don't matter completely elements, but they also do, like you get two different endings when it came to Infamous 2. Like Red Dead, for example, you can go yeah. Yeah, like, I feel like for Epic Mickey, some of the concepts they had with Mickey were, it was like with what they said, like the game was designed to really flesh out these different parts of his personality that really weren't really shown as much, because like originally Mickey was a bit mischievous. He was a bit of an anti-hero, and he was a little bit this or that. But he wasn't always like a goody two-shoes. I felt like, I think both games really struggled to really implement that element in there. Because like Disney is really, because you don't want to like ruin the corporate brand, but it's like, who gives a shit? It's like
the biggest problem you have is you're trying to market the game towards kids. But really, a lot of kids were scared of this game. Like, there was people I was talking to that really found the game when they were younger scary. And I felt like, why didn't they just lean into that? Like, market it towards tweens or like people like adults or something. And I felt like, you know, if I know that's going to marginalize and kind of like, well, who would, if like, are the tweens really going to play something that's like a Mickey game? Matter of fact, you can just go do that in Red Dead. Yeah, I know. But I felt like if they're going to arguably have like a darker game, why not lean into that with like not just the look, but also like the aspects of gameplay and stuff like that. Arguably, I felt like something they could have done was like lean into the idea of you know, each like Mickey's personality being like, you can, if you want to be an a-hole, you can be an a-hole and it will affect your gameplay. And I felt like, you know, like with Infamous, for instance, I know I'm gonna be talking about Infamous a lot, but with Infamous, there was the idea that with your gameplay, that it changes depending on your karma, right? With good karma, your gameplay is more marginalized. There is like different changes to it, where like if you're saving people, it like changes things up with like, you know, how your gameplay operates. And it doesn't like, you know, it's a little bit more this or this. Obviously it's still dangerous, but like there is that level of like, you know, this or that. But when it came to like your evil powers, like if you leaned into just being a giant dick, your powers are more chaotic, you have different abilities, and like you can really increase that level of like your devastation. Like your abilities become more worse for wear, you know? Like even darker and even more twisted. And I felt like for Mickey, like with the way the idea of stuff is set up, it always felt to me from looking at from what I've seen with gameplay and what I've seen with stuff, they should have leaned into that. They should have leaned into the darker elements, because Disney as a whole isn't just sunshine and rainbows. Like the adults can see some of the darker elements of, you know, the older elements of Disney films. And I would say arguably the newer Disney is more trying to be lighthearted and trying to like child-friendly approach every goddamn thing, but you still have to add that layer of darkness to things. But it's how it's done that makes it awful. And I would say arguably if Epic Mickey was to do anything like a third game was to do, I would lean into more darker storytelling and also lean into the idea of like taking a page, like kind of like I wouldn't say a redo, but like taking a page from what they did from the first game. Because arguably, but Disney does not want the mascot to be presented in that type of light. Well, fuck that. I don't give a shit. You know, here's the thing. Here's my point. Here's what I would say. Arguably, it's up to the player what they want to do with the character of Mickey. Like, that's what I would say is that, damn. Like, I don't give a shit. Here's my thing. I don't give a shit what Disney wants, because Disney I would say arguably has done more harm than good lately. Like, they ruined Star Wars. they canceled good shows. I would say arguably if they would stop pushing this like child, yeah, I mean, I don't either. Yeah, like, here's my thing with the character of Mickey. Mickey wasn't originally designed to be this child-friendly mascot. If you look at the old cartoons, he was kind of like a bit of a prick at times. Like, if you look at the history, like, he was created by two people. And arguably their personalities showed in the character himself. And that's why they made Epic Mickey in the first place. Was to marginalize, like, and, you know, kind of approach the idea of, like, introducing more of that darker part of Mickey just a little bit. You know, it's like, it's not designed to be, arguably, what's the word? Just sunshine and rainbows all the time. Like, arguably, Mickey as a character wasn't designed to be that way. Like, Walt Disney was the mischievous one, and that, like, reflected in some elements. But also, the other co-creator of Mickey, was the ray of light. He was the this or that. I would say, like, that should be reflected in your choices. Like, yeah, Disney is not going to want that, but it's like, who cares? It's not designed for what Disney wants. It's designed for the player to make the decisions to change the character. That's the point of player choice and how it affects the character you're playing. Like, if you choose to save somebody in a video game, you know, that should be reflected in, like, what, you know, changes the character. Like, with Cole McGrath, his gameplay isn't the only thing that changes. Some elements of his personality change. And also, you know, what he unlocks for, like, side missions and stuff like that changes. Sucker Punch wasn't like, well, we made this character can't be evil because, well, it'll affect the brand of the game. It's like, no, they left it up to the players what you choose to do in the game. If you want to go on a freaking rampage and blow up stuff, then you can do so. I would say arguably that's the element that Disney shouldn't be allowed to control. Because arguably I would feel that that's the most awesome element that kids would like. Kids these days don't care. They're desensitized. They play, like, we play violent video games and we have violence all the time. I would say arguably Disney should lean into that element and say, okay, if we want to make a game that appeals to kids and teens and stuff like that, let's lean into the darker aspects and give it to the player to choose what they want from Mickey. Like, do they want to be this anti-hero? Do they want to be the goody two-shoes? Or do they want to be evil? What do they want to be? And I feel like that's something that should have been considered instead of thinking, well, this Disney doesn't want this. We don't want our mascot. Who cares? You know, it shouldn't be up to you. It should be up to the player. Like, you know, that's the whole point of player choice, is that it should change gameplay. It should change the world. It should change everything. Instead of arguably trying to control gameplay and control it because it's a recognizable mascot, then you shouldn't even bother making the game in the first place if you want to control everything. You get what I'm saying? I feel that if I was in control of making a game like Epic Mickey 3, right? I would draw a line in the sand with Disney and just say, here's the thing. This game is supposed to be player choice. What the players do with the character is out of your hands. The idea of the thing, yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. But I think all know that Disney is giving up that kind of power, especially to the players.
we all know that Disney isn't. Yeah, but that's the problem. I feel like they need to. Because the thing is, if you control, I feel like Disney is all about making money, right? If you want something to make money, arguably you have to put out a product that's going to give that choice. And that, here's the thing, games that sell well are arguably made with heart and a lot of fun aspects to them with gameplay and stuff like that, right? And they have to have a good story. Yeah, like they don't seem to like it. Yeah, exactly. They don't seem to like making money because they don't put out the stuff that people really want anymore. They've kind of lost that creative itch that they had. I feel arguably that if Disney would actually get in the realm of like, okay, well, where are we going wrong here? I feel that people nowadays, like kids nowadays, not all of them are going to get like the complex storytelling of certain things, right? They're not going to always read into it the way an adult or a teenager is. But arguably, if the characters or something is written well, all the money talks about they don't want that any. Yeah, it's like they always want more money, but it's like, you know, where I would say arguably they want the money, but they won't put in the effort to make the money. I know that sounds disingenuous in some aspects, but I'm saying like, if someone's naturally creative and you just basically it's like, okay, this idea is like a gold mine, because the whole concept of Epic Mickey was a gold mine. The problem was some elements of the execution. I feel that if they would have leaned into certain things and pushed out the darker elements just a little bit, I feel that certain things wouldn't have felt off. You know, like, there was stuff, like, yes, arguably the creative director for the game did say that there were sketches that were specifically designed to go over the line and see what Disney was comfortable with. But I would say that was arguably the biggest problem. It's like, you shouldn't try to push, you know, and say, well, what are they comfortable with? It shouldn't be about them per se. It should be about, like, the people. And, like, I would say that Mickey as a character has kind of been this mascot for Disney for so long. And arguably, I would say that in some aspects is a little bit, I wouldn't say bad, but I would say that he's a bit boring. I would say, like, if you want to reinvent a character or redo something or actually have it to where people can know about his personality and stuff like that, I feel that that's something that they should have really leaned into with Epic Mickey a little bit more than that what they did. I feel like if you have the character choice system is designed for the player to choose what the character they're playing as becomes. And I arguably think that when you look at games like Guardians of the Galaxy, also, hey, Butthead, that game, yeah, the Guardians are kind of anti-heroes, but like the smallest of choices and the littlest of actions do play a bit of a role in the story. Like, arguably, it doesn't change too much of the characters that you're playing as. Like, with Guardians, I would say that just the smallest bits of dialogue that you choose or the different things you do with, like, actions do change up the game drastically. Like, even near the ending, like, with the World Mine. The World Mine, depending on certain choices, could not show up near the end. The same for, like, Cosmo or stuff like that. You can have, like, evil, like, they could be mind-controlled and, like, there's nothing you can do. But, like, it's just the point of, like, that idea of player choice does play a bit of a role in the game. And I feel that's something that Epic Mickey really struggled with balancing. And I felt like a third game, instead of just giving us more playable characters, I feel that the storytelling needs to actually take a forefront again instead of a backseat. Because there's a lot of rushing when it came to Epic Mickey 2. From what I understand, there was a lot of just get the game out, blah, 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 let's do this. Let's give us the idea of playing as the rabbit, and that's it. I would say, arguably, that was really the biggest pitfall that you can make, is just, oh, let's add more characters and not expand on storytelling and gameplay and innovate. And that's really what the biggest problem of Marvel Spider-Man 2 was, that always will be the edge that of why I believe Arkham Origins, but Arkham City gets over Spider-Man 2. I surely believe that if Insomniac wasn't rushed by Sony and actually decided scrap everything for 5 minutes and let's focus on A, B, and C. Storytelling, characters, and gameplay and innovation. That would be, I have so many ideas of what they could have done with Marvel. Hey, hit me up on Discord. I do want to do a video talking about like a Marvel Spider-Man 2 like reimagining or like fucking a remake or whatever, like a director's cut style thing. If you want to do any like you want to actually be a part of that, hey, I actually wouldn't mind eventually doing that anyways. Like that's been on the bucket list for a while. So genuinely, like with Marvel Spider-Man 2, I've like going back to Epic Mickey, when you compare the first game with the story versus the flaws that it had, like these ideas I thought of for a while. Well, hey, again, send them to me. Like we can talk about like it. Maybe make a video. Like I don't give a shit. Like genuinely, I have like a thumbnail already made. Like originally I was gonna do it as a partner thing with Ronnie, but it like fell through. So I wouldn't mind like doing that with you. Just hit me up on Discord. We can chat about the ideas and like work it into like a script or something at some point, because like I still need to edit videos and stuff. Arguably, I actually need to get my computer set up so I can like work on editing on a computer versus on my tablet or phone, because that's really where I've been doing most of the work, and I don't like doing it. But yeah, like I could have done something with like Web of Shadows where the symbiote form around him, and so it comes. There's a lot of ideas. Like there's a lot of stuff you can do. I feel like arguably some things would be harder to do now because of the Tony Todd sadly passing away, which sucks so much ass. It sucks. But I feel that there's a lot of things that you could do with any game. That's the whole point of like my gaming ideas series of like videos where when I talk about this stuff, I would say arguably the reason I do it is to kind of redo or reimagined games that I felt like arguably could have been done differently or should have been done differently, or how I believe it should have been done. That's really the whole point of like the series, is really just like the videos. It's like just to talk about like my pitch for games and stuff like that. Like I feel like
it's not meant to be like the definition of like this is the way it should have been done. This is just like my ideas for how I think it could have been done, and how I think they should have done it if I was at that studio or I was doing this or blah blah blah. Like that's the whole point of why I'm making like the Epic Mickey video, or how I would do a Gravity Falls video game, or how I would remake Arkham Origins and stuff like that. Also, they shouldn't have given Miles that. I will beg to differ on that. I don't personally mind it as much as everybody else. I don't personally mind it. Arguably, I personally don't mind it. But that's me. I don't give a crap. But then again, I'm a white kid or white guy or whatever. So for me, it's like I can't really speak on the hairdos when I'm arguably, keep the fade. I don't know. That's arguably, that's like where like, for me, it's like I don't give as much crap about like hairdos or whatever. It's just the storytelling, gameplay, and all that really should have been, It's fair. I would say arguably, but getting back to like his fade look, I would say getting back to like video game ideas, getting back to like stuff, transitioning from like the Marvel Spider-Man 2 thing. Getting off topic, Epic Mickey, from what I've seen, had a lot of things going for it. Like, it was a game that would, like, give us a different idea of the character of Mickey Mouse. It would reintroduce some of the older elements. It would give us a character that Disney originally created, but they lost the rights to because of rights issues and stuff like that, being the rabbit. And it was for a lot of like forgotten Disney characters and Disney stuff. Like the whole game was designed with this principle of like forgotten things in the Disney pipeline. And I feel like if they would have kept within that principle of like forgotten elements and just stuck within the idea of like, well, okay, this whole game is about the forgotten things. And like the rabbit was a forgotten element. And also you have like the forgotten parts of Mickey that basically you would say like the forgotten parts of his more mischievous personality or his other things. And you get to choose which to lean into. And I feel like that should have been the core aspect of the game, is the choice of what you lean into when it comes to the idea of the character. And that should reflect in his gameplay and the choices you do when it comes to like destroying something, redeeming it, saving it, killing it, stuff like that, or just what you do in the world. And I feel like, arguably, if they would have leaned into that more, I feel like the game would have been overall better. Because I don't know if I can show it. Hold on, let me merge this layer real quick, and I'll pull up some concept art because I think I have some downloaded. If it lets me. Please let me. That's her art. That's not mine. I don't think I have it downloaded. Hold on. I think I can go to just Google. Hold on, let me just look it up. And I can just show you. Epic Mickey concept art. There we go.
So there was a lot of dark, I would say arguably better stuff when it comes to like the monsters and the different stuff for the game. And no, this isn't fan stuff. This is like arguably some pretty dark concepts. Like they did want to make Mickey a little bit more skinnier, kind of taking like a Sonic approach. They had like some more monstrous stuff that I arguably would say is better. Like I actually like the more darker approach. Like you have like these really vicious, like very dark elements that I arguably I'm more drawn to, as weird as this is gonna sound, than what we had. Like you had some really dark, really weird, mischievous, like other concept art of like an eviler stuff, like with Karma, like his ink would start to actually would bleed off of him, and he would just start shooting the ink from his body, and there would be like a from positive to more negative, like a karma thing. Like the hero, wastelander, scrapper, and I feel like that element of like that stuff really works. Like I don't know why they got rid of it, but like there was arguably more darker imagery that I felt like I was more drawn to, that I felt like they should have leaned into. Like arguably one of my favorite concept art pieces was this right here. I think this was made right here. This was like one of my favorites because it's like it really captures, like they really, like there was a lot of darker stuff that I felt like they should have leaned into more. Like even with Epic Mickey 3, they kind of did try to do like something like this, and I was like, I don't find that cool. Like I don't find that, arguably I find that more lamer than anything else. I felt like if they would have leaned more into stuff that really captures this darkness, like almost like take a bit of like an Alan Wake approach. I know this is fan art, so I can't really show too much, but like they're like if they would have went in on this darker imagery, I personally would have liked the game, and actually would have gotten it when I was younger a little bit more. Because like my first game series I think I played was the Arkham games, and those were arguably dark. So I feel like that's why I'm more drawn to this style, because like there's a lot more. Yeah, I'm watching. Yeah. There's a lot more darkness to it, and there's a lot more feeding into the idea of like the doctor and like they supposed to be, I guess, like, well, some of these sketches were not supposed to be seen by the general public, and they were leaked, obviously. And it was like to kind of toe the line of what Disney was comfortable with and what they weren't. But it's like, for me, I feel like that's the stuff I actually would have liked, to show the corruption and the darkness of like Disney stuff. And arguably I would have like liked it a little bit more. Like I think that's like their goal was to kind of toe the line. But I felt like I would have liked the game more if they would have leaned into that. Like would have leaned into this, some of the darker imagery and the twisted side of things. Because like with the age of like horror movies and stuff like that, the idea of like, even for instance, oh, hey Connor. What's the word? Bendy and the Ink Machine, right? They kind of leaned into like the dark angles of like the cartoon creation and all that stuff. Like I think they were the first to do it. And arguably, I felt like if maybe that's something I felt like Epic Mickey was missing a little bit. Arguably, those are two different styles of games. And obviously, like for an Epic Mickey 3 or like whatever, I feel like that's something they should really lean into. I feel like that's something that I arguably are if I'm more drawn to. Oh, sorry. I'm more drawn to. Maybe I'm crazy. Yeah. Maybe I'm nuts, but I think it was cooler. I think God Chicken left. But also, welcome, Connor. Hope you're doing good as well. Sorry if I'm rambling a little bit. I'm talking about, Epic Mickey, because I'm working on this thumbnail for an ideas video. Nope. Okay. I was like, it went down for a second there. It went like to 2 viewers. I was like, oh, somebody left. But no, I feel like, if you get what I'm saying, I feel like if they would have maybe leaned into those elements, like leaned into the darker side of Disney and like the other side of things, like arguably, if they would have taken a bit of like a Bendy and the Ink Machine approach, I feel like it would have been an even cooler game. Like, I'm not saying make the game a horror game and make it like freaking first person or shit like that. No. But I mean, take those elements that Bendy provided with the dark side of things, and I would say lean into that. Like, arguably, I don't think that would be everyone's thing. I feel like a lot of people would say, no. But for me, like, this is my personal opinion, I would say the game would be better for it. Like, because then you also, if the game is darker, if you choose to make the game lighter, right? If you choose the hero route, you're arguably taking away that corruption. You're taking away that darkness. All those dark, twisted things, you're fighting it. It's kind of like when you tell your kid to, when they have a nightmare, you can fight it. Like, you can fight it with light. Arguably very similar to, like, Alan Wake, right? I would say that's something you can really lean into. It's like the idea of Mickey fighting the darkness or becoming one with it. And I feel like this would be the game that really can tell an interesting, complex story with, like, not just Mickey, but also with the rabbit Oswald, like fighting nightmares with light. Well, basically, nightmares, light, and it's like a figurative thing, but basically what I'm saying is that the idea of, like, when kids are, like, scared of even their own shadow, and, like, they're basically, there's always, like, there's a monster, there's this, there's, like, it's, like, perception. It's, like, whatever. Shut up! Also, Connor, if you're here, how are you doing, man? Sorry if I'm rambling, I don't know. I know you're probably just sitting there like, well, what did I just fucking walk into? So I apologize, my guy. But I would say arguably if it was me at the helm
Because like actually Infamous actually had like that type of approach. Now I think about it. Infamous, if you decide to go the good route, the open world and certain stuff becomes more brighter. It becomes the air is more cleaner, it's more this or that. I'm trying to think. And arguably all the like some of the things you're having to deal with, like the open world starts to change the more you do good things, right? It becomes a little bit cleaner, it becomes a little bit whatever. But if you're doing more evil things, have you ever heard of Prototype? Fuck yes, I know about Prototype. Yes, obviously, I like Prototype. I will say the Prototype 1 has a few edges when it comes to certain elements of gameplay that 2 didn't. 2, I would feel like they did some things cool, and then they also did some things terribly. The story was one of those things where I was like, I don't know. Arguably, I didn't like the story. Arguably, I didn't like the story at all. Good, we need another game. That I can agree with. There's been some people that have actually talked about their ideas for Prototype, like a Prototype 3. I remember seeing a couple from like Purposeless Rabbit Holes. I don't think his story pitch was that good, but certain elements of his gameplay ideas were. I did like his gameplay ideas. And arguably I found them to be amazing. But there were certain things I felt like, like, I don't know about that. Maybe that's too overpowered, blah, blah, blah. The abilities in the first one were better. Well, I would say that okay.
It freaking... Uh-oh. Am I still live? Ah, I swear to God. It said like the transmission signal fucked up. So I can't see the chat on the what's it called. That's the second time it's done that. Okay. Yeah, when I have choices. Yeah, that would have been cool.
It does that sometimes. I think it's because like if I stream for longer than like, or it depends on when I stream or like how long, but it basically cuts the cannot use chat, please like check your network connection. I have a freaking network connection. Piece of shit. But yeah, like no, I feel like Prototype 1, better gameplay. I have 2 dream games this year for yeah. I thought about playing Prototype on stream, but I felt like no one would want to watch. Who's no one? I mean, like, no one would care. It's like, it's some of those, like, there's some games that I feel like no one wants to see me play. I would. Well, you'd be the only one that would. Keyword. Because not many people give a crap. Hold on. Son of a... I do need to freaking get... I'm probably gonna have to like start editing later, or at least try to get like some stuff recorded for video stuff. Yeah. Well, I have the game on PS5. I just haven't had a chance to like play it in forever. I would say arguably, because depending on how long I'm going to be streaming for, it's already been like 2 hours. I might just talk about more of my pitch, because like I'm going to be recording anyways. You have a PS5? Yes, I do. How do you think I stream? I don't stream from computer. Arguably, no. Thank you. I do not. I think I'm gonna try. Because I have like the chance, I'm gonna take a break and just talk about my pitch for a minute. Give me a second. Because I have some elements of this drawn for thumbnail stuff. I might try to mix stuff around, but okay. So, since I have the time, I'm just gonna flat out talk about it. So, I'm gonna take a break from drawing. Okay. So I'm gonna be recording this later, but basically, do you have pointy ears? In real life? No. Well, when I was younger, I would say probably, because like I freaking had big ears, but no. When it comes to my pitch for Epic Mickey, okay, the third game in the series. So from what I understand of like all that was talked about it, what they said is that originally the game, they did want to have the game deal with the Peets, and stuff like that, but I felt like that type of story would be boring very fast, and really, what could they do besides making hell for her stuff? I feel like for this game, I feel like this should continue 3 different stories, like continue the 2 stories that they established with the first game. The first game was about family, and also the idea of like different, like the bitterness and like, you know, the idea of like the stuff with Oswald and Mickey, like the jealousy angle and stuff like that, and also the themes of redemption and like whether someone can be redeemed or not from Epic Mickey 2, The Power of Two. But with this game, I feel like that should be continued and also add the idea of a couple other themes that I feel like would work as well. Pulling a little bit from Alan Wake, I would say I would pull that angle for like the story, where basically I would pull this element of the idea of like creator and creation and stuff like that. Now, arguably, yes, you could say that if I remember correctly with Epic Mickey 1, the blob does get destroyed, but I also remember them saying that the blob elements and stuff like that are still a part of Mickey. And I feel that maybe you could retcon the idea of the, not just the him trying, like they tried to have it to where he steal his heart again and stuff like that in Epic Mickey 2. I feel that something that I feel it would be interesting is to have this theme of creator and creation. Mickey created the blob, the darkness, that element of stuff. And Walt Disney, or whoever, created Mickey, he created Oswald, he created stuff, and also you have Yazwa, the wizard. He created what was it? He created the world that you're in, the wasteland. And I like the idea of theming the idea of the dark aspects. Like, you create, not just the idea of creating, like, your monster, but also the idea of, like, just creation and the whether the created, like, it's almost like a Frankenstein's monster type theming of, like, the creator creates this thing that would be considered a monster, but there's more different things to it. It's kind of like taking an element from Bendy and the Ink Machine of, like, the creator having to grasp with his creation, the good and the bad of it. And because Mickey created the Blob, but also he's destroyed it, I feel like there should be that level of complexity of, like, but because the Blob and Mickey are closely related, and the idea of, like, creator and creation, you know? So, from my point of view, for the third game, I feel that the Pete's should play the role of the antagonists for a little bit, in the same way that, like, similar way of, like, just in general, like, the antagonists, the catalysts and stuff, but I feel like they should really not be the main villains. Like, I felt like, if you're gonna use the Pete's as the main villains, it's gonna get really dumb really fast, and it's just gonna feel flat in the same way it did with the Doctor. And some aspects, I feel that the Blob, or the Darkness, was a more compelling villain, even though it never spoke. And I feel like if it was allowed to speak, and it was allowed to have this idea of, like, showing there was more levels to it, I feel like that should have been the story that the third game should really tackle, is that the dark, with, like, light and darkness, creator, creation, and the complexity of things, the complexity of life and death and morality and what you choose to do. Because originally, the concepts that they had for Epic Mickey were built around player choice in the first place, right? From what I understand. And I thought all of that is great, but when you look a little bit deeper into all these different elements, it's like some things fall flat where others don't. And something that I feel that they could have captured fairly well if they had the proper amount of time and resources is the idea of the themes of, like, morality and the ideas of the personality aspects of, like, what with you, your creation taking on the aspects of you. It's almost like a parent. So for me, and I'll probably be ending the stream pretty soon, but, like, I want to kind of talk about this and I'll get back to work a little bit. The themes that I thought of were kind of pulling from the first game. And I arguably think now that the Blob and Mickey are kind of intertwined, it's kind of pulling a little bit. I don't know if you ever watched the show, but do you remember Sleepy Hollow from Fox? Not Fox and Friends, but Fox, like the network. The same network that aired Gotham. And how, well, basically, with that show, Ichabod Crane and the Headless Horseman, in some ways, are connected. Because, like, they both killed one another on the battlefield, and their blood mixed. And then, yeah, of course, they had to separate that. But basically, one cannot die without the other dying. If one is brought back, the other will be brought back with him. And that's something I felt that was fairly unique. That I felt like, okay, why not pull that element? You know, like, the idea that the monster, the blob, is connected to Mickey in some aspects, and it's kind of this representation of like a child. You know, like it's Mickey created it to look like him, but it's like it was starting to become this monster, this creature, this darkness. And he tried to destroy it, and he failed. And then he had to try to destroy it again. But a part of it latched itself on to the thing that created it in the first place. And I thought, arguably, that would be an interesting story to tell. Instead of just telling us a basic story of how, oh, the Petes are going and doing something bad. Oh, they're gonna destroy the, what's it called? No, they're the catalyst. The real threat ties back to the very first game, and it's just the very first thing Mickey did. His more mischievous nature got the best of him, and he created something. And arguably, that creation, that moment that he created when it didn't turn out the way he wanted it, he tried to destroy it. And in doing so, made it have more of a personality. It was like a rejected child, you know? In the same way that Oswald was that, rejected child in some aspects from Walt Disney. It's like, like you took the life that I was supposed to have. It's like a very similar theming, but in a different way. Because it more capitalizes on the idea of Frankenstein's monster. It's like, it's very similar to that. And I would say that you can also have these themes of like morality and like not just with your choices, but also with the characters. Like whether you choose to be the hero again and choose to save things, but also in doing so, are you really saving anyone because you're destroying something that you yourself created? And that's what the Blob really represents, is the idea of like a dark aspects of like something that you have created. And I felt like that's something that with the theming, you can really, I would argue, lean into. And, in some aspects, why care for this world? Like, why care for that? You didn't create any of it, but you did create something that's partially destroying it, but it's also going to leap its way into your world. So whether you can either choose to save both worlds or to let them burn and actually understand that this was your creation, and you know what? Maybe it's a part of you in some aspects. And it's maybe the good or bad, maybe you have to accept it, whether it lets the world burn. And a similar facet to like Vi and Jinx's side of things, it's kind of like that. And then you also have like the other characters like Oswald that you can play as, or his girlfriend. And maybe you can have the positive and negative aspects of them with certain things. I don't know. But Mickey really represents the driving force of the third game in the same way he did with the first game. And I would feel that that should be the core aspect of the story, given what I know about the game, which is fairly little. But like taking the core bits of certain aspects of the other games and also taking this, that, or the other, I feel that if given the opportunity and given the other stuff, I would say it would be cooler if the game like had that type of story of like the idea of like, creator, creation, darkness, light, the bad, the good. It's like almost like a parent type theming of like, what does our child really, like, what would it take on, especially if we reject it or try to, destroy that, the thing we created, and, try to, something like that. Maybe it's weird. Maybe it's too complex of storytelling for like Disney of all things. But if you can kind of tell it in a way that that's the theming of what it's going for, then I would say that the game could arguably do things justice, But hey, that's just me. I'm rambling too much. If you're still here, God Chicken, I'm sorry. I am sorry for the rambling. I just, I figured I'd just talk about my concept and, kind of just nail down what I was thinking about for the game. Yeah, I enjoy it. Well, thank you. But yeah, like, I know that with the game, arguably, I would say, you can have like all the aspects of what they wanted to do with the original games, like the morality system and stuff like that. But I would say that I can't fix that. Oh well. Yeah, it sounds like a British win. Ha ha ha. No, I mean, like, for me, well, I will say my voice is like very haha. Very 50-50. I feel like pulling a lot. Yeah, you sound like a British woman for a second. Well, that could be because my throat is kind of hoarse at times, and like when I'm trying to like talk or narrate something, my voice goes into a more narrator kind of voice. And like when I'm talking and like I'm not really thinking about it, it does do that. But yeah, I can agree. Plus, like, I also like the idea of the theming because I feel like the whole game series started when Mickey, was more mischievous and he created the Blob, right? And I felt like with the second game, it didn't really, like, you had this idea of redemption, but we all knew the Doctor wasn't going to get redeemed. But I felt like that really wasn't explored in a facet where it makes sense. Like, the Doctor is one of those characters, like, he's kind of, like, designed to be a bit of an a-hole, and he's like, he kind of just, he just has that purpose. I felt like if they were to really explore something with the characters and like the idea principles of like redemption, it should be the redemption or the idea of the Blob. I feel like I don't really know. I would have to look at the ending and like see if like there's a way of like working this in. But the idea of like the morality system in Epic Mickey is like using the brush to create or destroy stuff. And I felt like that's amazing. That's awesome. It's like a subtle morality system. But it's not implemented in a way that really, I would say, works as well. And I'll probably end this stream here in a bit. But basically, I feel like if this third game was to take a page or a couple pages from the very first game and what it did well, I would say implementing more aspects of the morality system would work. Like, whether you choose to destroy the world or heal it, even your own world, like whether you decide, like it would arguably slowly change you throughout the game. And it would also change your gameplay. Arguably, if you go full bad, you lose access to the brush. Like, the brush gets absorbed inside of you. And you also absorb the idea of paint thinner from the brush. And that basically changes your gameplay to where basically Mickey is using his own ink and paint thinner to take away things and mess around with stuff. And that changes up the gameplay drastically, because it also, you can have different elements of like combat where maybe Mickey, I would arguably say like very similar to Devil May Cry, with the nightmare creature, mixing this with Nightmare with Shadow, where in combat, similar to my concept with the Shadow form for, I believe it was, I think it was like the Shadow form from my Nightmare Before Christmas video game video. Basically, you can become pure ink and even use that in combat and like liquefy and like slither on the ground and then like rise up and do different things and have that type of element to like the animation idea. Because like I think they've done that with different types of animations, like stuff like that. So like I think you can do it. Of like Mickey, I keep confusing the two. Mickey basically kind of like having it, like the gameplay change once you fully embrace that darkness. And I would say arguably that would be more fun. Because like if you're hero Mickey, like the gameplay is a little straightforward, but also it would change a little bit as well. But if you start to embrace that darkness and you start to just destroy things, everything in your path, then that also changes the gameplay for you and makes you more twisted. It makes you the world more bleak. It basically turns you into something you would hardly recognize as Mickey. And I feel like that would be the idea, is that it would distinguish Mickey as you know him and as he could be. And I feel like that type of gameplay works. It's like Cole McGrath, whether he's evil, he basically can absorb the bioelectricity out of somebody and kill them. Or he can basically just zap them till they're dead. Or he can call in a lightning strike. Stuff like that. But if he's good Cole, you know, like he can do this or this or this or that, he still arguably is very powerful and arguably could still kill people, but I would say he's different enough to where it's like unique. And I would feel like that's something that they should really, I would say, arguably lean into. Like, if you're going to make Mickey, you know, this character of like a goody two-shoes, it should be on the player to be the goody two-shoes. And if they don't want to be, then that should change, like, everything. Different aspects of the world should change. The gameplay should change. Even, you know, the personality and the voice of Mickey, I kind of want to lean into, I don't know if you ever saw the animated short, but Runaway Brain, right? Runaway Brain was, I believe, like Mickey his brain got swapped with Frankenstein's monster. And he became more rabid. I don't know if you ever saw that. But yeah, I arguably think that would be a cool idea. But I'll quit yapping about it. I think I'm almost done here. I'm probably work on Hero Mickey and here, and then put the text. Stuff like that. I'll keep going. Oh, really? I don't know. I wasn't too sure. Like I saw like somebody left, so I was like, well, probably I thought it was like you, because I can't see the chat anymore because of that little network error. Don't know why. Thanks. trying to remember. But yeah, like I feel like I think that if I was in control of making Epic Mickey 3, I would take the stuff from the first game, like the complex story stuff, the ideas of gameplay, and the stuff that was really not utilized as much, and amp it. Like amp up everything. And something that the second game tried to do was just like add more characters that also changed up the gameplay and stuff like that. So like you had the rabbit, and what the third game was going to probably do is give you the character of Mickey, give you the character of the rabbit, and then give you the character of the cat being the rabbit's lover. And I thought, okay, that would be cool, but why not explore the idea of every character having a light side and a dark side? Because with the idea of the rabbit, it was John Lasseter, I believe, who like didn't want him to be evil. The original idea of with Epic Mickey was the idea that the rabbit was supposed to originally really be the bad guy. He was actually supposed to be the villain of the game, but they had to change it there early on because like that was his first appearance and nobody really knew about him and blah 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 blah. Right? And I thought, well, that's kind of lame. Like like that kind of sucks because it's like that kind of takes away from so much that you could argue would be cool. Like yeah, he does kind of play a bit of a role of like an antagonist, so to speak. Because of his more aggressive nature to Mickey. But I feel like if arguably if I had any say, I would say that exploring the light aspects of a character and the dark aspects of the characters would arguably be more interesting. Not just the light aspects of Mickey, but arguably the light and dark aspects of all the characters. Whether the choices that they make even in their gameplay. I feel that arguably that would have it to where, you know, I was so scared I would miss so it's looking good. Thank you. And also, hey, sorry I'm a bit rambling. I was like story pitching my concept as well. I know I'm going to probably have to make a video, make the video eventually. And I know I'm going to have to like script it and talk about it. But I arguably rather talk about it a little bit on stream and get like the feedback of like the ideas. And hope that people like it enough to where it's like, well, maybe if people like it enough, I might make the video and talk about it. And also, I'm so glad you like it. I'm hand drawing or digitally drawing like the mouses first. I think I got the evil one pretty much done. Now I just gotta merge some layers and then do the good one. So hopefully this comes out good. Because I had like a reference for a bit, and it took me forever. That's why I was going to ask you, I was like, maybe I could get her to help me with the body, but I was like, never mind, I'll figure it out. Because usually it takes me forever. I arguably struggle when it comes to drawing some stuff sometimes. Okay, so I got that. Also, if you are curious, if you're just slightly a bit curious with the head in the corner, that would be a model. You probably already saw it in the Discord, but I was struggling with making it. I'll probably like have to refine it, tweak it. I've been testing it out for these streams briefly, but it's not really like a VTuber thing, but it is kind of. It's like a 2D VTuber type thing that I'm testing out, and I'm hoping that arguably it becomes coolish. Like I gotta maybe, tweak it a little bit, arguably. But yeah. Also, how are you doing, by the way? Sorry, this stream's been going for a while. I've been talking about, like, my pitch for an Epic Mickey 3. I've been just rambling because I talk so much. It's one of my less endearing qualities, I've been told. But yeah, dang it. Come on. There we go. Trying to think. Where was I at? What was I talking about? The pitch. Oh, right. Pitch. Do you wish to make that model your mascot? I would say maybe, but I don't know. Like, arguably, I would say that I would want something, if I was to make like a mascot, I wouldn't call it like a mascot, but I would want to have something kind of resembling myself, but also something that kind of fits my personality and has like some of the stuff that I like in it. And like most people have one in some aspects. Arguably, I would say most of those people that have one have a better concept and a better idea of how to do that than I do. My way of doing things is hope to God it looks cool and see if it sticks. Because I arguably am terrible sometimes. Like, when it comes to, like, designing, sometimes with art, I'm terrible. I know I'm ripping myself to shreds, but it's like, it's better than having an ego. I know, at least in some aspects, I am not that good. I know. Like, even there's probably a lot of flaws with just the model itself right now, because it doesn't have, like, a body. And, like, I knew going in, keep talking, that obviously it's not going to be perfect or be good. Like, I know that there's certain things I would say could be better than anything else. And I feel like I never try to pride myself on ever saying I'm better than anyone, or better, even not like putting out the idea that I'm good at something, because I feel like, yes, being positive is great, but also being critical is just as important, because there's a lot of people that are overly positive and that are overly, I guess I've encountered the narcissists, so that's why I'm kind of like, I criticize myself a little. And I don't always, I don't know. Old. I'm trying to think. Yes. Well, yes. There next time. Sorry, I'm responding to something on Discord. I didn't see it till now. I didn't think when I put it there. Yeah, the power of the brain is... Yeah, I would say being positive is great. Like, I honestly, I adore some aspects of that. But also, I also appreciate when sometimes I have to be critical, or someone is critical of me. Or just kind of... Like, I wouldn't say tearing someone down is a good thing. But I would say, like, for me, I don't mind if someone criticizes my art or criticizes something if it's bad. Like, arguably, I will say that when I did the thumbnail originally, there's a one I did, and I put it, I think it was in either J server or Gotham Paladin, I don't remember. But basically, I did the first concept, and a lot of people said there was a lot of problems with it, and I'm actually glad, because like when I redid this, when I redid the concept, I think arguably I came up with something a bit better than just throwing a bunch of images and trying to glue them together with, you know, like really bad photoshopping skills with using this app. Then actually getting creative and like thinking, okay, let's use that technique of like images, but also let's add some drawing flair to it. You know, let's actually, I would say arguably, push yourself to be more creative than just trying to do this or that. You know, like I feel like that aspect is better. Because I feel like criticism comes from a place of helpfulness, sometimes for better or arguably worse, you know? So I feel like for me, arguably I prefer a bit of criticism because this way it teaches me, I would say something that I didn't know or have before. And maybe that's a weird thing because like negativity, I will say this, if someone's just crapping on me just because like they just want to tear me down, then arguably it's better just to ignore that. It's just like hating just for the sake of hating. But it's always better to distinguish that from criticism, because criticism or constructive criticism or just, I would say hate criticism comes from a place not just of love, but also from a place of experience. And I would say arguably, if you're older or you are someone that has been doing it for longer or has been around for longer, arguably you have a little bit more ground to speak on. So that's why you're coming at it from this realism, or not realism, but this different angle. And I feel like that is the best quality you can have. Because you sometimes like distinguishing, you know, like that feedback of like, because it's like, there's some people that just like, if you're criticizing someone's work and like, they just can't handle it, because like arguably you're basically, I feel like there's a lot of people that I would say from experience have done that, not just to me, but I've seen it like be done, period. And I don't always think that's a bad thing. As weird as it sounds, like I feel like if somebody gives you that constructive criticism, it's on you to kind of improve and push the bar. But yeah, I feel like that's, I don't know, maybe it's a me thing. This is looking amazing. Well, thank you. Also, sorry for the rambling. I kind of just go from one topic to another when it comes to these streams, so, but yeah. Also, thank you. I will say this. This right here, like the little monster, I did not do this. Also, keep going, man. Alright. I'd say, I'm just saying, when it comes to like criticism, I feel like it always comes from a place of love, no matter what it is. And not just like love, but also like experience. Whether, yes, and it's just your job of like interpreting it. It's like interpretation of like, okay, if this person is like criticizing, like I've actually gotten a lot of criticism a little bit even on my gaming channel. And somebody said to me, they actually pointed out something to me, and they said, why is your videos very, like, they're not made, like, here's the first problem with your videos over there. He said, first problem that you have, and this is arguably the biggest one, is they're cropped terribly. Like, the aspect ratio, you really need to change that because it feels a little bit weird. And the second problem is, you need to really work on your audio balancing. Because sometimes if you're, I know that when he said this. Now I will say that he's right, but he said the thing is and I can speak on this because I know how difficult it is depending on, you know, if you have equipment, if you're doing things a different way. But if your audio balancing is like really high 1 minute, a little bit low here, a little bit weird here, and like your voice is all over the place at times, and it's like trying to balance it. Like, yeah, I could say, he did say that when it comes to recording stuff, arguably, arguably audio balancing is probably the most difficult thing, especially if you're reading from a script. So he said, like, I can, like, even can get a bit of criticism for stuff. So it's like, it's not always bad. Oh, kitties. Yay. Yeah. Cause like, that's the thing is like, I always like doing these streams because like, for me, I can just chat with you guys and you guys are awesome to chat to. And you guys can see me working on something. Even if my nose is running right now, like my nose is dripping. Because I'm still sick. Arguably, I'm still congested. For some weird reason, my nose is, I can breathe through it, but I am, Yeah, I get that. I don't listen to the others. You're doing amazing. Well, I appreciate that. Well, yeah, I feel like sometimes if somebody just gives me shit for just whatever, excuse my language a little bit, because I do cuss occasionally. I let one slip here and there. But there was somebody that with the, and they eventually deleted their comment because there was a little bit of back and forth, because I have the biggest thing of, if somebody insults my artwork and it doesn't make sense, I have the biggest language. Thank you, Captain America. Basically, I always have the habit of like going, like just messing with them, like try to like challenge their critique, because I think they messed with me about like the Kubo one, and they deleted their comment, so I can't find it. But it was like a kid, and they like, why does Kubo look like a witch from Minecraft? And I literally I said, how are you going to make that critique when arguably they look completely different? And also, one actually is wearing a hat, the other is having a hair, and also there's so much like, yeah, I could argue and say like the face isn't the perfect, and yeah, but if you're going to insult it, at least make sure the insult makes sense. Like, I don't want to give the guy crap. I'm sorry. Maybe I sound a little bit like a bully, and I'm not trying to be. But he did kind of call me a B word later on. So, well, you know, like, I kind of challenged his argument and said, like, they're completely different, for one. And also, if you're going to insult my stuff, at least, I would say arguably, not trying to be rude, but at least make sure the insult makes sense. Because when you look at them side-by-side comparison, how do they look alike? Okay, I'm sorry. But, like, I would say I don't like when it comes to haters, I don't listen to them. But arguably, if somebody gives me a good, valid critique, like the audio balancing and the other stuff with the gaming channel, like changing the aspect ratio to like something that actually fits in with like the YouTube thing, I could actually see that as like a positive thing to actually help me improve. Yeah, he called you a bit. Yeah, he said I said okay, blah, and I said I just like I kind of got smart with him because I was like, oh really? I have the biggest thing of being like a comedian. If I'm getting heckled, I kind of put it back. I know that's mean, and I know that's you shouldn't do that, and I try not to feed into stuff. But if I'm gonna get heckled, I'm gonna put it back. So I said, "Oh really? Takes one to know one." It's like I think I said I said, I know you are, but what am I? It's like, or something. I kind of just put it back because I was like, I've always had this thing. And I think it's because I don't like it. I don't think anyone likes getting crapped on. And I think positivity goes a long way. But, keyword, being overly positive can be just as detrimental. Because if you're overly positive all the time, it's like, there has to be room for a little bit of darkness and kind of just say, like, be real a little bit. Because I feel like if you're not real about something, especially like if it comes to art, it's like, if I ask my dad, because he's my dad, if I draw something and it looks like crap, he arguably will tell me it doesn't. But if I go to a random stranger and show him the same drawing, and they say it looks like crap, then it's like that was an honest answer. But if I show them and they say, oh, it looks good, then it's like you're 50-50 whether to choose to believe it. Because like sometimes people do try to spare people's feelings. And arguably, I would say that's more insulting. It's like you gotta have to be a little bit, realistic. Also, hello, Unicorn on Twitch. You mean, yeah. I would say that it's great to be positive. Like, I honestly love, like, supporting other people and vice versa. But I would say sometimes you do have to, like, if somebody... How do I say this? I want to say this in the best way. Excuse me? No, you're fine. I don't care. YouTube kind of hides the certain comments anyways. It's weird on streams. But basically, arguably, it's always nice to have someone that is real with you. It's kind of like, do you remember, I don't know if anyone's watched the clip, but who here has watched Fluffy? The comedian. If you guys have, let me know on the Twitch side or on the YouTube side. And I mean, don't be shy. Don't just like, if you've seen the comedian Fluffy or any of this stuff on YouTube or whatever, let me know. Just like say, yes, I have. Because I'll get to what I mean here in a minute. Who the hell is... Ha 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 ha. Are you serious? You don't know who Fluffy is? Gabriel Iglesias? You don't know who Fluffy is? Who you don't know? Oh, him. Yeah. Fluffy. Gabriel Iglesias. Yes, I do. Okay, so you know... anyone else? Puff, do you know? Well, at least we got one. So, he had this tour manager or tour bus driver. If you guys know the story, if you watch the YouTube clip, you probably already know where I'm going. And his name was Dave. His name was Dave. And arguably, I love this because Dave was, I believe, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, me crazy because yeah. And the proper tab. I'll put it in the proper tab. Where? Hold on, let me find it. Art support. Okay, so it's got to go in the art support tab. I'm trying to find it. Hold on. I gotta find the art support. No, that's artist lounge, booster promotion. No. I gotta find it, and it's like it's hidden in like a different. I hate when there's so many tabs because like with dyslexia, it's hard for me to read. Because I gotta find the tab. I hate. I'll get back to what I was saying in a second. I gotta find the tab. I can't find the tab. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I could just click on it and it'll take me to it. Where did she put that? Okay, so go to artist support. Oh, yeah. Where's that? I don't see it. Maybe, through like the, wait, there we go. Duh, it's on Twitter, not on the Discord. I'm an idiot. I'm a moron. I'm not thinking. I didn't realize I made a huge boo-boo. I wasn't thinking. I was like, I'll put it in the proper. I was thinking it would. You put it in the freaking. What is it called? The tab on Discord, whatever. Okay, but back to what I was saying about Fluffy. He had the bus driver. His name was Dave. Dave is like very straightforward. Also, wait a minute. Did it say streams offline? Is it? Oh no. Did it cut? No, it's still working. I was gonna say, it's like I saw that and I was like, oh crap. He had like this, like the bus driver. He's like, I don't give a shit. You know, it's like he was a very straightforward guy. Huh? No, I was. Sometimes I don't know. It's glitchy because like Prism, the art app, not art app, the live. I'm here, Irishman. Ha 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 ha. Actually, it's partially Irish. I'm partially Irish. I have Irish DNA, but arguably, I'm not fully Irish. I'm not. Hey, Vidor, I'm looking for me lucky charms. You know, like I can't do that voice when I'm sick. I can't do the Irish accent. Like, I can't do that voice when I'm sick. I don't know why. Also, I had to go back and I looked at her message because it had like the highlight of like artist support, and I was like looking throughout the Discord. I was looking throughout the Discord, and I was like, wait a minute, where's the proper? Wait a minute, art channel, art this, and then art tip, art fight. I was like, wait a minute, where's art? Where's art this? I was like, wait a minute, what am I looking? Which tab is that? And it was like, oh, never mind, Twitter. I was looking forever for it, and because some of the lettering is cursive, and because I have dyslexia, arguably cursive is so hard for me to read. I will just say that I arguably have a hard time with freaking, yeah, you're still Irish, I don't give a crap. Ha 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 ha, Hardy. I was looking for it. I was like, wait a minute. Wait. It took me for a minute because I was like, wait, where's the right one? And I was like, oh, never mind. But Puff's real sweet. Puff is really sweet. She's awesome. I can't even read cursive. That's much. Yeah, me neither. I have a hard time with certain things. It's like, because of my dyslexia, like a lot of the time when I am trying to force myself to read, my brain has to fill in the gaps. It's like, it's kind of like, it's kind of like, do you remember the game show Jeopardy? Or like playing the game Hangman? It's kind of like that. It's like, fill in this sentence. It's like my brain's like sitting there at the podium, and it's like, it's like, that was incorrect. Try again. Like my brain has to fill in the gaps with a lot of the wording and stuff. So like for me, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, So yeah, I enjoy like talking with other artists, trying to get help now and again, because like there's always someone else that has like arguably a different approach and actually has a better thing, because like everyone has like a different experience, and arguably, I would say arguably that adds on to things and actually helps everyone out for the long run. Because when you do that, I feel like that makes things a bit better, So yeah. I'm trying to think what I can do for the middle. I know I'm gonna have to get like the Epic Mickey thing, like the logo, and like download it, and I'm gonna have to have like 2 different versions of it, and like have like a fill-in gap or something. I don't know. Cause like I need to have something right here, and I think I might have like the brush hovering here, and then have like a third splatter that's split, and you have Oswald in the middle, and then the cat on the other side. I don't know if that works, but for a thumbnail, I would say arguably, I guess that works. I don't know if people are gonna get it. Like, hell, even with the Nightmare Before Christmas video, that video didn't really do as well as I hoped. Like, arguably, when I do the gaming ideas videos, I would say that they take so long because I wish it was an easier process, but it's like coming up with the ideas, making the script, making the assets for the video. Like, I actually have to do the art, the thumbnails, and I have to like rethink every approach, because with the thumbnails, it's like it has to grab people, but also if it's too difficult to read, or it's this or that, or the title's off, or the algorithm is just not gonna push it through, arguably, I'm gonna have a harder time. And I feel like I want to kind of like do like remasters of older videos, like some of the Devil May Cry, like more specifically the Devil May Cry 2 video. Arguably, I feel like that video needs a rework, like a reimagined approach, like just going in and just looking at it. Because like there's a lot of videos that I had concepts and just like had assets made, and then I just completely abandoned them because like something wasn't working, or just like I got sick of editing. I feel like if I had like an editor or like multiple people editing or helping me edit, I feel like it would take a lot less stress off my back, where I can focus on getting like the thumbnails and the assets made, and I can just like work on those, and then like I don't have to worry about like the editing. Like I could just give them an idea of like A, B, and C, and then think, okay, well, if that's good, we can worry about this. You know, it's like, it's one of those things where I feel like, arguably, I like doing, you know, this stuff. Like, I like doing, like, ideas and stuff like that. Oh, lovely, a bot on the Twitch side of things. I will get rid of that. I will solve that problem. Hold on. I will solve that problem. Ben bot, goodbye. I hate when that happens. What'd it say? Cheap viewers on, shit like that. Excuse my language. I don't give a shit. No, I don't. I'm gonna pull a Dave. I don't give a shit. It's like one of those things where it's really annoying on the Twitch side of things because you can get these little bots that come in. It's like, cheap viewers is on. Here's a little link, and it's really just a freaking scam. And it's so annoying. Like, it's arguably frustrating because it's like, why? So yeah, I get annoyed with that. I put up with it, but I get very tired of it on the Twitch side of things. What else? I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to work on recording. I don't know. I might try to like just get. I know I need to get the gameplay from Epic Mickey. Like, I might have to go in on TikTok before they ban that thing and like look up a bunch of like Epic Mickey footage, and like even from like different stuff, and like take it and download it for obvious reasons, and like just like obviously take out the ats and whatever, but like get some of that as a way of like bypassing you know, certain things, because I don't have like gameplay recorded or different stuff, because like arguably you would need like screen capture, and you need this and you need that and you need this or that. It's like, it's always something you need. And for me, it's like I need I might have to ask Cameron, like that the guy, I can't remember, the person was in here earlier. I might have to ask them if they can work on some of the assets, and I can describe them drawing wise, and I'll have to like take a look at their work first before like I say anything or like ask them, just in case, because I might take them up on the offer on editing stuff, but it's like I first want to see if like I can just get them to work on like assets first, and see if like that works, and like if I can get them to do that, then I'll give them like mini assignments, like here's this section, like this is where I'm going to be talking about this part. I want to have like I'll describe like like changes to the boss fight and little add-ons, and this is what I would want maybe drawn, and maybe have this here. And then I can give him like a sample of like the editing intro of the segment, and then like I can give him this or that, you know, and I'll see, like, first I want to see what. Here's my thing. I'm very picky. I'm not really picky in a sense of like picky as in like I'm not gonna shit on somebody's style, but I'm picky as I'm particular, because I don't. How do I say this without coming off like a jerk? I'm picky as in, like, I'm very particular on the way I want to approach something, and I want the certain thing to have an approach that fits within the confines of how I approach the video as a whole, right? So, like, when it comes to something like the Arkham games, they have this unique look, they have this or that, and arguably I would say the art for that should fit that. I don't want to have the same problem that I had with the Arkham Asylum video. Arguably, that video did so fucking well, which was amazing. But the problem was that I rushed some art things with it, and I just kind of said, heck with it. And I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to just rush assets out. I want to have art and partial little things that fit warmly well for, like, ideas. And the biggest thing with me is with me being very particular, I don't want it to just be something that nobody's gonna get. Like, it doesn't look right, you know. I like, that's why for this, like, this thumbnail, like, I'm doing this myself versus, like, having someone else do it, because it's like, if somebody else did it for me, I honestly wouldn't. It's not that I don't like other people helping. Arguably I do. But also I don't like taking advantage or feeling like I am at all. And arguably I can still always edit like me making a thumbnail versus like a video, because like I'm very particular in the editing style that I've made. Not really made, but the editing style that I've really developed when coming up with the idea videos is like kind of like as I've went along, I've gotten better at like my approach and taking a lot of influence from the Drawing Matrix videos, the Love Arts 23 redesign videos, and other stuff. It's me kind of like taking influence from there, but also just kind of like doing my own thing at the same time, where like I can add a bit of animation, I can add my own art, like I can add stuff to things that I think would fit fairly well, you know. And I don't want to sound like I'm better. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I've kind of developed my own unique approach, and I feel like if I start to deviate from that a little bit, it would be a little bit weird or off kilter for like the channels. It's like I want to kind of approach stuff in a facet of what's the word? I guess it would be like approaching it like, okay, this is the way that I'm doing things. This is like my own, I wouldn't say my style of things that I've started to develop. And if I deviate from that, I feel like it wouldn't feel like me. It would feel like somebody else standing in for me, and I don't want to have that happen, because I feel like when people get editors, they arguably, yes, there is a bit of that, but also there is also less, you know, like when you're making the content, it's arguably fun, but when you look at the behind the scenes of like the editing and stuff like that, it's like, well, also I have to keep in mind that people and their time is just as important. I can't just have this expectation they're going to put all this work in and they're doing it for free. Like no, not everyone is they want something in return, and that's I wouldn't say that's a crappy thing to really you know, think about, or to expect, but arguably it's logical. You know, it's like, arguably, people, if you do a job, you would want to be paid for that job. And if I go in with this expectation of, well, they're just going to help me and like they're not going to want something from it, then I'd be dead wrong. It's like, I would say that obviously somebody's going to want something. And not everyone works that way. I don't want to say like that, but people's time does arguably matter. And I don't want to sit there and say it doesn't, because it does. But I feel like, for me personally, I feel like that is the factor that I have to like think about when it comes down to stuff, Maybe for some people they don't really think about it, but I have to, because it's like doing a commission, right? I have, like, if I was to actually do an art commission, it's like, if they were going to pay me bottom dollar, then for the time, even though I put maybe like a week's worth of work, I would say, well, okay. It's like that would kind of be like undercutting. But there also is like the side of it where it's like money makes the world go round, but also sometimes people don't have money to give. So would you rather get do a bunch of work and then feel like I'm ripping them off if I didn't put as much into it, or them not having the money to give me and me kind of like being entitled and demanding it anyways? It's like, pick your poison. It's like one of those things. I don't know. It's like, it's a nowhere battle. You can't win, but oh well. How long have we been streaming? We've been streaming for like 3+ hours. Jesus. I haven't done an art stream for this long in God knows how long. Because I usually don't really stream on like the YouTube side of things or the Twitch side of things for this long. Usually I kind of try to cut it out and like get it within like 2 to 1 hour or something. But it is honestly better to do like longer live streams, because like you guys can like engage more and actually chat and feel like you're a part of the stream, which arguably for me is better, because like I get to chat directly to you guys and you guys can do that and vice versa. And I would feel like that is arguably more fun to do. Yeah. Plus, I like, just drawing for the sake of drawing. Like I like putting something out and having fun with it. And makes my day and makes this all worth it, arguably. So yeah, so I guess for this stream I did get Evil Mickey done, so he's done, as you guys can see, and now I have a good Mickey that I need to do, and I have to make him a little bit brighter. Kind of have to add this undertone shading wise, that he has this feel of, what's the word? The feel of like Mickey Mouse. And don't ask me to do the voice of Mickey. I don't think I can do it. It's like, oh boy. Like, oh boy. I can't do that voice. I used to be able to do it. But I am not, I can't do it anymore. Marvin the Martian I can easily do, but it's like doing any other voices, I arguably lost the ability to do it because I didn't practice. I could. Of course you could.
I'm not surprised.
Call me not surprised, good sir. I'm of an emotion. I can pull my Spaceinator and blast you. Then I will take my Spaceinator to Eggman Fortress and blow it the heck up.
Arguably, I will say that voice does get very hard to do over time, because, like, I'm kind of doing it and, like, I'm curling my throat. It's weird to describe how I do it, but I'm kind of, like, curling it and, like, Marvin, like, I sometimes it's harder to pull off, like, when I'm forcing it, but it's, like, real, it's fun to do. Like, I used to be able to do a lot of different voices and just have fun with it. Arguably, the ones that, like, I hated doing were the ones that, like, I just were super hard and the most iconic to do. Like, Mickey, Wazowski. I used to be able to do it before my voice got deeper, but I used to be able to do... Yeah. Your PNG tuber is really cool, by the way. Sorry, I went to have breakfast. No, it's cool. Like, I get it. Like, yeah, I made the thing myself. Like, I put it on your Discord, and, like, I was struggling with it. It does need a little bit of work. I need to, like, do a body for it and stuff like that. I need to change some features. But I'm kind of, like, test grounding it. Because, like, I wasn't too sure on if it would look cool or if it would work, because I tried doing stuff like that before, and I'm not like a VTuber or anything, but like I thought, well, I have a lot of friends in that space, and I actually asked a couple of them for advice, and they said, just, you know, make something that fits your style and it works. And I arguably I had like an old concept, and I thought, oh, I can tweak it and remaster what I had. But yeah, I will say, like, arguably, the Marvin voice is probably the one that I do the most just for fun, and I annoy the crap out of my father. My adoptive father, I annoy the crap out of him with that voice. It's like,
Oh, father, you making breakfast? You make breakfast. I bring out my Spaceinator.
It's like that, and I'll annoy him with freaking yeah. I can't do the Kermit voice. I sometimes can, and then sometimes like yeah. Like I have to like modify the Marvin voice to be like more Kermity. It's like yay. It's like I have to like modify it. And like change the curls in my vocal cords to more like half straight but curved. It's like I have to like yeah. It's very hard to do. I used to be able to do a lot of voices, and I used to annoy the crap out of people because I got so good at it. But it's like as I got older and as my voice changed.
When your voice gets deeper, well, it basically destroys any chance you have at doing voices, except maybe one iconic one. Yes. Yay!
Now I can do it. Like, the freaking Kermit voice, like,
yes, Brock. Yay!
I love the one session like Terrorizer and them did, and they were just annoying the crap out of Brock doing the Kermit voice. Like, yes, Brock. Just like, no problems here, Brock. Yay. Yeah. I expect for the one in your head, except for the ones in your head. Yeah, the ones in my head will not go anywhere. I'm pretty much like Jinx. That they'll eventually get me sooner or later. But like I did get the Ink Mickey done. I have Hero Mickey I'm doing right now, which arguably I would say I have to like think in like realistic animation shading.
and stuff like that. And arguably, I will say I probably have to go in later and add like a outline for each Mickey to like add this brighter tone. I want not like a light green for this side and a light blue for this side. That adds like a lighter tone to the thumbnail. Which I will say, doing thumbnails, like making any assets for videos, like the Gaming Ideas videos are fun. But making the assets is a nightmare. Oh my god. The reason why I haven't even started on the Gravity Falls video, the Gaming Ideas video for Gravity Falls, is arguably because, like, I have to make assets for it, and, like, I want to draw a couple assets. And, like, drawing, like, the character aspects of things, I can do. I hate backgrounds. I don't like doing backgrounds because I have to think in, like, 3 dimensions. And arguably, when you're doing that, it's like I have to put my brain in the realm of, like, perspective. And, like, perspective is one of those things where it's like, where is the eye gonna gravitate towards? It's like different lines, like you have to like do all that. And I tried doing that, but arguably it made it worse. Because like when I try to do something with perspective, I honestly feel like I struggle a lot, because I feel like when I do it, it's not as good as I'd hoped, because like I'm unfamiliar with it, and like it'd be different if I was taught perspective and like someone just like, okay, here's the basics, blah blah blah, but also here's a basic idea of like what you're struggling with and what I can see, and like you're focused on where the characters are going to be. But with the background, you have to think in like 3 dimensions. You have to think, well, what the eye is going to gravitate towards, where the shadows are going to be, where you've placed the characters, and la-di-da-di-da. And I would say, arguably, that's more frustrating for me to like think about, because like I'm self-taught. Like I've taught myself everything I know. And when I'm thinking in the realm of like that, arguably it gets more irritating, because it's something that I don't have a full grasp of. Like, it's like trying to understand like light, shadow, placement, and stuff, because like when you look at like where the light's going to be, where it's going to be placed at, arguably that's fine. Like for a thumbnail, I don't really have to think too much on certain things. I just have to think, okay, A, B, C, D, then lettering, make sure it's broad, make sure it works, and then and then hopefully it pays off. But if I'm making an asset, if I'm making something that's hand-drawn and stuff like that, yes, you could say, oh, well, you could just draw the character doing something, and you don't have to, like, put in all this work in the background. But it's like, arguably, wouldn't that feel half-assed, though? Like, if I decided, okay, I'm just going to draw the character and say heck with everything else, that would feel half. Like, it just would feel half-assed. And I honestly don't like doing that. Like, I feel like I want to make something look as great as possible, and I don't want something to look bad. And that's sometimes why I struggle with doing, like, requests, because I put so much work on myself, and I bite off more than I can chew. So, obviously, when I get, like, a request, and especially if it's, like, something I don't arguably know, more often than not, I'm going to be struggling to force myself to get that done. Because, like, arguably, I want it to look good, and I obviously have all this time and like I'm doing this or that. And I would prefer, this is something like if I got commissions, I would prefer not to get paid until I get it to them. Like, I don't care if they have to like constantly pester me about it, because I know how my brain works. I'm forgetful. I'm very scatterbrained. I will put everything else on top of that, and then like I'll never ever get it done. So it's like I rather somebody not pay me until they get what they ask for, because arguably I feel that that's better for my thought process than, again, you have a brain. Again, I have lack of brain. More like it.
More like it. Lack of brain.
Than anything else. I feel like that, for me, puts things in a different perspective where I can just look at, I can look at certain things and I feel like, okay, if I know how my brain works and I know my problems, like arguably, I would say I know that for me personally, I know that I'm very ADHD, very scatterbrained, very like unfocused. So like I know that I rather get paid last and never get paid. Dab. Ultimate dab ultimate dab. Then freaking waste their time. It's like I know how I work. Hell, you want to know something like the prime example? I'll give you a prime example right now. Right now, this project is just been thrown together just because I had a creative itch for it. I didn't record anything. I haven't made assets for ideas. Unlike with Gravity Falls, I have the biggest problem from jumping to one ship to another to another to another. And I feel like that could be because of my ADHD. And if you notice, like that's really what I feel like most artists, I feel like we love drawing, but some of us are a little different where we're a little bit scatterbrained. And like we're forgetful and we're like jumping from one thing to another because we have so many ideas of what to draw, but we don't know what to draw. And arguably, I fit in that category. And I feel like for me, that's where I struggle. Not gonna lie, at least I can admit it, where I'm like, I know I'm not perfect. You will never catch me saying I'm better than anyone or anything like that, or I'm not gonna pull the dream argument of I made someone's career or something like that, or something stupid. I feel like that, if anything, I'm more grateful that anyone gives this channel or the other channels, or just me in general, the time of day. You guys actually humble me and kind of keep, like, basically are, like, I would be nothing without you guys and your support in general. Like, for me, like, talking to people, meeting different people, getting to chat with you guys in stream, getting to, like, just your perspectives, getting to just hang out and just chat for whatever and talk about whatever, whether you guys agree with me, disagree with me, give me crap and mess with me on stream, or just in general for videos or stuff like that. You guys are, like, I wouldn't be anywhere without any of you. So for me, that's like arguably the biggest thing that I could say is that the channel wouldn't be anywhere without you guys. So you guys are awesome. That's really all it is. That's arguably all it is. Like, I just have to be honest. So yeah. I'll shut up now. I know I'm sounding sappy. But at least I can admit it. You know, it's like, I honestly would never claim to be anywhere better than anyone. Because you guys are really the awesome people here. Well, no, you're awesome. Well, I'm. You guys are awesome because you guys give me the time of day. So it's like I wouldn't be anywhere without you guys. It's kind of like it's like I would be nothing without you. I'd be nothing without you. We're paying the mortgage. We're paying the mortgage. I'm kidding because I don't get paid for doing YouTube yet. But it's like you guys are awesome. Like you guys keep the channel afloat. You guys keep me going. Keep me motivated. Keep me humble. And arguably are the best highlight of the channel. Like you guys doing these streams, doing like talking on the Discord or just meeting people through like different Discords and stuff like that. It's honestly the highlight of everything because you guys just keep everything just amazing. Yeah. So pretty much that's all I'm going to say. I'm sappy. I'm sorry. But yeah. I'll shut up now, but yeah, you guys are awesome. That's all I'm gonna say. But I will say, once I get the pants done and the nose finished, I will probably be ending the stream because tablet will be dying. Is about to die because it's like I've been streaming for like 3 hours. It's like at 20-something%. So. I gotta go charge that up, and I gotta go charge up my phone. And arguably, I might need to go eat or something. So yeah. I'm gonna try to finish these pants and like shade them a little bit, and then I'm going to call it. Hold on. Hate when he does that. Nope. Have it setting there. I'll be ending it soon anyways. Yeah, I know. What was that? That would be my phone ringing because my father is calling me to, I know. I have it on, because I have it on silent, so it's like, I had it on like the glass and it just starts buzzing. So yeah. He was telling me my dinner's ready anyways, because he went to go get some food. So, I guess he's cooking, because I smell something. I don't know, he either went to go get food, or he cooked, or something. And because he came, he's a butthead. Wait a minute, did it freaking... Oh no. Here. I have to like take an eraser or something. Where? Okay, where, what, why is this all like really close down? I don't know why. It's like, it's pulled back for some stupid reason. Hold on. I'm going to duplicate it real quick. And I want to see why it's just stuck. Is there like another thing to it? Or is there like another... There's like nothing else. Just that. Okay, that's weird. Oh well. Fudge. Also, if you notice, there is a lot of I had to think with a lot of like elements. Evil Mickey here, darker colors. Hero Mickey lighter colors. And also, I wanted to, with the thumbnail, actually add an element of, like, referencing of, like, traditional animation where it's actually shaded to look like a drawing from that era. Like a traditional drawing. So I'm kind of, like, treating it as such. So yeah. So give me a couple seconds. I'm gonna put in the shading real quick. And then I'm gonna end the stream because I've been streaming like for 3 hours, right? Yeah. And I think I'll be taking a break from like streaming for a bit. I need to work on videos tomorrow. Like, I keep putting this off, and I keep saying this because I sound like a broken record. It's like, oh, I'm gonna take a break. No, I'm not. And just like force myself to stream again. It's like, but arguably this time I actually think I'm gonna try to force myself to get like videos done because like the gaming channel is arguably kind of suffering for it because like if I put out something random, it just doesn't do well. So it's like, I gotta get some stuff done. Yeah. Alright. Well, I'm gonna miss you. Well, I'm hoping I can get some stuff done, arguably. But, hey, you're not gonna miss me too much because you can reach out through the Discord, right? Like, I want to hear your Spider-Man stuff, like your ideas. Because I actually want to have somebody, when I do like the Spider-Man Director's Cut video, that I want to kind of change that up and have some like ideas and stuff like that. So you can reach out to me over there because I do have to. I do want to see what you come up with. So arguably, you know, not you know, gonna everything else. So, yeah, I think I am done. I think I got a little bit of work done today, as you guys can see. So, I'm gonna head out. I need to eat, and I gotta plug up my electronic stuff. So, catch you guys on the flip side. Probably gonna be taking a break from streaming. I might stream on my Twitch here and there. Who knows? But I want to try to get some videos done. So, I'm gonna be working on this behind the scenes. You might see some updates on the Discord or on the community posts. So, keep an eye there. Catch you on the flip side, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, day, morning, night, or whatever it is for you in the world. Peace out. Bye-bye.